There's a dog in the background. I'm going to preface that one for you now. Willy Hernangomez. Talk about a segue for you. When I was talking about Willy in the beginning of this series, I envisioned him as a backup center who could be an offensive player, a post-up guy, a rebounder, and even if his defense wasn't going to be that great, it was going to work out. But he wants too much damn money. I've already talked about it a few times. So I was looking at his availability, which we saw some of these in the previous video. Again, 2K throws offers at you that don't always make a lot of sense for the other team, so I don't want to just rob another team, even though I kind of did that to the Pacers. But then we look at this trade here. You notice the record in the bottom right, because I can't hide the thing. Memphis wants to give us 2 draft picks for Willy Hernangomez. And even I think this is a little too much of a robbery, so I decide to throw a couple of our second-round picks in there, which is kind of the benefit of trading 4 second-round picks. You know, we got 2 seconds for the Courtney Lee deal or something like that. Well, now I don't have to give up a first-round pick to feel good about myself. And now, Willy Hernangomez, I appreciate what you've done for us. I would have loved to have kept you, but he's gone. Kyle O'Quinn will now take over the backup center position, and O'Quinn has been pretty decent for us. Did I just say was been? Whatever. I took yesterday off. I don't know how to talk. O'Quinn, I mean, he's a low-usage center who just does things well. You know, he blocks shots, he finishes well at the basket. Does he have Hernangomez's offensive abilities? No, in terms of posting up. He actually has a decent mid-range jumper, which I feel like I could utilize a little bit more. But no, he's not going to be able to post up on switches and potentially some big guys like that. But the reason he's here and Willy Hernangomez isn't is because he's only expecting under $2 million. And if he plays well the rest of the season, I'm going to give him a little bit more money than that, maybe $5-6 million a season, which I think he's deserving of to be a backup center. So what's going on in the Eastern Conference? Detroit's still killing it. I don't entirely know how. I mean, we looked at the numbers. They're just playing really well as an overall team. Cleveland is creeping up there, kind of. Why are they the 3rd seed? Well, probably because LeBron is having one of his worst scoring seasons potentially ever. I don't remember how many points he averaged in his rookie season. So it seems like the offense is running through Isaiah Thomas and Kevin Love about as much, or in Isaiah Thomas's case, maybe even more than LeBron James. I mean, LeBron's still making plays and grabbing rebounds, but I mean, where's the scoring, LeBron? I'm going to have to go into LeBron's tendencies and bump that up. 2K tries to lower LeBron's shot tendency to have him average more assists or whatever, but it just makes him average like 19 points a game, which is what we're seeing right here, which is not how it should be, you know? I mean, he's the best player in the league for a reason. He gets buckets on top of everything else he does. Cleveland, we might be dealing with them, depending on if we can maintain what we're doing. It's time for a rookie report. Marvin Bagley's the top dude, as he should be. I don't know why the hell he fell all the way to number 3, was it, to Atlanta? But it seems like the Hawks now have their star player. It's kind of interesting. If you look through the history of Atlanta, outside of Dominique Wilkins, I can't remember them having a dude who was considered one of the elite players in the league. And even then, I wasn't alive when Dominique Wilkins was there, so for all I know, maybe Wilkins was like the 11th best player in the league. I have no idea. Why am I showing you all this? I don't know, because I think it's cool to get an idea of what's going on around the league rather than just see us Knicks every single day. Maybe I'm a weirdo for that one, I don't know. Now it's time to talk about our rookie, Deandre Ayton, for the rest of the video. His plus-minus is pretty good. As far as why Norman Powell and Ntilikina are both minuses, I don't know, but we're going to ignore that one. And we're going to go deep into Deandre Ayton for this video. We're looking at the shot chart. The 3-pointers weren't going in, so I told him to stop shooting those. He really hasn't been that great from mid-range either. There's a lot of blue and a lot of under 30%. But he's excellent finishing at the basket right now. What was that, 65%? I believe it was. And usually great finishers around the rim are like around 70%. Rudy Gobert and whoever the hell else. Rudy's the only one I thought of. So Ayton's great on that front, and when you add that to his rebounding abilities, I think he's doing what we're asking of him for his rookie season. I think it's a damn good rookie season. Sure, it's not 17 points and 8 rebounds a game or whatever Marvin Bagley was averaging, but Ayton's doing well. The jumper has been a little disappointing, I'll give you that one, but the inside scoring, given that it's his first season, I think it's enough. Now, we are going to have to work with him more on his mid-range and his three-point shot because, I mean, he's good enough to where if we just work with that, then he can actually get to a point of being pretty okay. But his polish is perhaps not where I thought it was going to be. But given that he's a rookie and he's still doing a decent amount of things well, I'm okay with Ayton overall. The player training is set up for his mid-range jumper, like I explained before. Because we already have Porzingis who makes those, maybe him just having a mid-ranger would be enough for spacing. Now we're actually going to go through a few of the games he's had recently. Deandre Ayton, against San Antonio, he was damn good. 20 points, 9 rebounds. There's a decent chance that he put all these points up because Pau Gasol sucks on defense. Especially because now we are even a few more years into this thing. So Gasol's got to be on his last legs at this point. LaMarcus Aldridge has got to be a step slower as well, so I mean, Ayton could just be in the screen and roll all day against Gasol, and Aldridge wouldn't be too difficult either. Now, Orlando's a bit younger and more athletic, but he still put up 19 and 7 against these guys. Notice how he's not shooting the ball too much either. He's only shooting like 9 or 10 times a game, and given that he's a dude who can't really create his own offense right now, it seems he's just doing it through being a part of the team, so setting a screen, maybe dump-off passes from Tim Hardaway Jr. or Ntilikina, whatever it may be. Ayton just he's figuring out how to put up a decent amount of points, and that's valuable. You know, a guy who can put up those sorts of points and be that efficient while not having a jump shot, for example, that's pretty good. But I do fear that his offense, if he doesn't get that polish that I want in terms of the mid-range shot, the three-point shot, posting up, then his ceiling might be like a 14-point score, which is okay, but we want more than that out of the dude we drafted number 3 or whatever, or number 7, I don't remember where we were. He was not good against Charlotte, on the other hand, and that's just kind of what you sign up for when you have a rookie, especially a rookie who you're giving so many minutes to. Sometimes he's going to look great, be potentially the best player on the floor, and then other times he's going to suck. Remember last season, Ntilikina would have some games where he was awful. He would have like 3 points and 4 assists and like 5 turnovers. So this is Ayton's version of that game, and you know, against a team like Charlotte that has 2 good defensive centers and Dwight Howard and Cody Zeller, kind of makes sense that a dude who's kind of rough around the edges doesn't have the best game. Speaking of Cody Zeller, he kind of went off. 17 points, 7 rebounds, and Cody Zeller can't shoot, which means all of his baskets were at the rim, and I have to assume that Deandre Ayton was the guy defending some of those. You know, Ayton's been a pretty decent rim protector for us. Even if his block shots are not very high, the plus-minus, the effective opponent field goal percentage thing, which might not mean anything, I don't know, but I'm just going to assume it does for the sake of making my point. I'm going to assume Ayton overall is making a good impact defensively, but he did not do a very good job in this game. So Ayton, what's the goal for the rest of this season? Keep getting better defensively and just develop more of that mid-range jumper as well as his low post game. But the rim protection and the rebounding as well as the finishing around the basket, that's good stuff. And I'm happy with Deandre Ayton overall. And if I look at that rebounding a little closer, 8 boards a game in your rookie season is good, but he's also getting about 2.5 offensive rebounds a game as well. And I think that's really valuable given that Porzingis is probably never going to be that great of a rebounder for us. Like, he'll be okay, but Ayton can be an elite rebounder, so that's good. Moving forward, we'll look at players that are not just rookies on our team, but I just wanted to highlight our center.